Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Today in this video we are going to discuss how to create an Azure SQL database in Azure portal. Okay, so basically as part of this video tutorial what we'll see is we'll see how we can use Azure portal to create an Azure SQL database. Okay, so many times you will have this requirement, okay, where you need to create the Azure SQL database. I will tell you the steps to create Azure SQL database in Azure portal. Okay, so for that what we'll do is let's start with a quick demo. Okay, so for that what I'll do, let me navigate to Azure portal. So you can able to see this is the Azure portal. You have to log in once you are navigating to portal.azure.com. Since I have already logged in this browser, it is directly taking me here. Okay, so basically you need to navigate portal.azure.com and then try logging in. Okay, and what you need to do is to create the Azure SQL database, you have to search here Azure SQL. Okay, you can able to see the search result. This is Azure SQL. Click on that. Now in this page click on the create button, or even you can click here also create an Azure SQL database here. Either you can click on the create button plus create button, or else you can also create this create, click on this create Azure SQL resource button. Click on the create button and you can able to see here you can create SQL databases, SQL managed instances and SQL virtual machines. Okay, so you can just click on the since we are creating here an Azure SQL database, click on this create button. If you want database server, elastic pool or single database, you can choose the resource type as well. So here I will create a single database. I will click on this create button. Once you will click on the create button, it will navigate to create SQL database phase. Okay, where you will find multiple tabs: basics, networking, security, additional settings, tags, and review plus create. Okay, so first thing is you have to fill this basics tab, which is quite important. Okay, so here you need to choose the subscription. What is the subscription you want to use here? Since I have only one subscription, I can able to see only one, Visual Studio Enterprise. In case you have multiple subscription, you will see multiple here in the list, and from that you have to choose the correct one that you want to use here. Okay, and now coming to resource group, next thing is you have to select the resource group. Either you can select a existing resource group, or you can click on this create new and just create a new resource group. Okay, so I'll just select a existing one, demo rg1 I'll select here. Okay, if not, then you can click on the create new and provide a name here. Okay, which will create a new resource group. Okay, and then the next thing is database name you have to provide. I'll just give ts info. Okay, so make sure it is an unique name. Okay, and the server you have to choose. So basically you need a server, right? So if you have created already, you can able to see here in the list. If not, then you can click on the create new button to create a server, which is nothing but the SQL data server, right? ts info, give the server name like this. Okay, then location you have to choose, so let it be east US for me. So here you can choose the authentication method. Okay, either you want to use the Azure Active Directory authentication. Okay, or if you want, you can use the SQL authentication. So while connecting to this server, it will ask you this: if you are choosing this SQL authentication, you have to provide the admin details like username and password and confirm password. Okay, so let's select your use SQL authentication. I'll give the admin name, password and confirm password. Okay, so click on the OK button. So you can able to see the server is created successfully. Okay, and it is redirected to same create SQL database page, right? So now you have to choose the, if you want to use the SQL elastic pool, or I mean yes or no. If you want to use that, you can click on yes, or by default it will be no. Let it no for me. And workload environment, you can choose it is development or production. For me it is development, so I'll choose development. And here comes the compute plus storage, right? The pricing structure, what option you want. Okay, so based on your requirement you can choose this option. So for me it will be like general purpose. If you want some other option, you can just click on the configure database. You can able to see here all the options you can see here, right? All the service tier options basically. So the pricing will be like that. If you choose, I mean any other thing, the pricing will change from here. Okay, so based on the pricing and your requirement, you can choose this service tier, right? So let me make it general purpose. For me it is, since it is budget friendly, I will go with general purpose, and I have only I want it for the development perspective, so I am choosing general purpose here. Okay, now here you can choose the provisioned or serverless. For me it is serverless. You can choose anyway based on your requirement. Okay, and then hardware configuration also you can change it. For me standard is fine. If you want, you can use, click on this change configuration, and choose like premium and whatever you want actually based on your requirement. Okay, anyway that is also related to cost here. So based on your requirement you can do that. For me it is just normal one for development perspective, so I'm going with standard series. Okay, so these are the things. And then you can also change the data max size and all. For me 32 is fine. If you want more, you can just increase like that. You can drag it. Even minimum B course, max B core also you can do that based on your requirement actually. So if you want to make the database zone redundant, you can change this one. Yes. Okay. For me that is not required, so I am just making it no. Okay. So now it is you can able to see this is general purpose. Okay, so we are choosing here compute plus storage is general purpose. Now the other thing is backup storage redundancy. So if you want backup storage redundancy, you can choose local redundant or zone redundant or geo redundant. So default one is fine for me. If you want, you can change these options as well based on your requirement, right? Now the basics tab we have already filled. Now next you can click on the next networking button. It will move to the networking tab. You can able to see here. So here, so if you want, you can configure these options as well. Connectivity method, if you want public endpoint or private endpoints, you can do in that way. It's based on your requirement. Okay, so I'll make it public endpoint. Let's do it public endpoint, and I'll make this as no. And our current client IP address, I'll make it yes. Okay, now that's it. Let it be TLS 1.2. I don't want to change, and the connection policy also make it default. Next, you can go to the security tab. Okay, here also you can configure something based on your need, like these options. If you want to enable Microsoft Defender, you can use a free trial here. You can choose that option. Ledger also you can configure ledger if you want. Okay, and server identity, these things you can configure based on your requirement. I will not configure anything here. I'll directly go to additional setting, click on next additional setting. So now let's click on the next additional settings. Click on that. Here use existing data. I'll make it sample. Click on OK, and then you can click on the next tag button, right? I don't want to change anything here. This is done now. I'll just click on next tab. If you want, you can add these things, name, value, and resource, whatever. But this is not a mandate. You can do it or not do it. It's based on your requirement, right? So directly I'll click on next review plus create button. Now you can able to see here it is showing me the final screen where you can review it, the changes. Like here it is showing the estimated cost is storage cost 375.71 INR per month. Okay, plus compute is 0.011382 INR. Okay, per core second. Right. So these things you can just cross check once. If you want to change it anything, you can go to the previous button and change it. Okay, and if you want to continue with that, you can directly just cross check everything, your name and all everything, if you are choosing the right subscription, right resource group or not, region is correct or not, region, and then this database name, so server name, everything you can cross check once. Okay, so once you'll cross check, if all looks good, you can just click on the create button. I will just click on the create button. This is the final steps. So you can able to see, once you click on the create button, it will start validating all these things, whether all the options that you have selected is correct or not. Okay, it will initialize and submit so many deployments and all everything it will do. You can able to see deployment is in progress now. So it will take a few seconds because a lot of things it has to create in backend. Okay, just wait for a couple of seconds. You can able to see the deployment details step by step here, right? Like now it is going on TS info SQL, which is type is SQL server, and the status is accepted. You can able to see here. Okay, so basically all the success thing and the error details, everything you can see it here. If in case any issues in the deployment, it will directly show in the screen. Okay, then you have to correct it. Mostly in our case everything will be correct, and it will just take few seconds, and then it will show you deployment is succeeded or something. Okay, let's wait for that. So you can able to see now TS info SQL status is changed to created. So finally you can able to see now it is showing your deployment is complete. So basically you have to just wait for few seconds and you will see this mess. Once it is successfully getting deployed or created, you can able to see your deployment is complete, and deployment details also you can see everything is green. All this green means it is successfully done, and status also you can able to see here. Okay, now you can click on the go to resource button to navigate to the Azure SQL database that we have created. Click on that. So you can able to see now we are in the SQL database page that we have created, right? So we have created TS info is Azure SQL database, okay, and the TS info SQL server also. Okay, so now you can do whatever you want, like executing the query means you just navigate to query editor. Okay, and since if you remember, we have used that SQL server authentication while creating the database, and the name also, username also I have provided Rajkishore. So by default it is loaded, so you need to enter the password here. Let me enter it. So once you will enter the password, you can click on the OK button. You can able to see we have logged in as Rajkishore successfully. Here just execute your query, I mean paste your query here in the query window. Okay, so here you can paste your query or write your query and click on the run button to execute. Okay, so this is how you can able to create the Azure SQL database in Azure portal. Okay, so in this video tutorial what we have discussed is we have discussed how to create an Azure SQL database in Azure portal. Okay, I have also written another article, okay, with all these steps that I have covered in the video tutorial. I have also written another article. That article link I am going to put it in the video description. If you want, you can cross check that article once. There also you will find all these steps that I have explained here. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching this video. If you like the video, kindly subscribe to our channel so that you will get lots of free videos on different Azure articles, along with that different Azure PowerShell commands and different articles on Azure SQL databases. Okay, thanks a lot. Have a nice day. Bye bye.